He does.
It's called Nikolai.
But it's on record.
Better looking.
But yeah, you never want to answer right away. Because then the women, they want someone who answers fast, but not like, oh my god, I gotta reply right now. So, what you gotta do, you gotta give it like 5-6 minutes. Because then they don't think you're trying to jump on them right away.
Yeah,
you give it a little lean away. They're thinking, well, am I interesting enough? Do
Right.
they want me?
If they text me while I'm at work, that's perfect time, because sometimes they get left undelivered for like an hour.
Right.
It's like Jordan's answering right away. She's like asking, "Oh, what do you want, Hen? Sex and food and liquor. What about you, her? Oh, cool."
Yeah, right.
Or you always see those ones where it's like, oh, I want a guy who answers right away. You answer right away, pending.
Yeah, right. Alright.
Alright, if you're just joining us in now, welcome to the late podcast. Kind of started it while we were in the middle of a conversation because I thought it was pretty great content. Today is just going to be myself, Hunter, and Jordan. Jarrod wasn't able to make it tonight. He has work until pretty late, but he will be joining us back here on on Thursday. So let's get into it. How was your day, Jordan? How was work?
You know, today, I could not wait to go home.
Why is that?
Because all day I sat down with the grinder in my hand and grinding for 10 hours straight.
Jesus.
I wanted to blow my head off.
Hell, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't want to do that for 10 hours straight either.
After every weld, I had to change out the disc to get a
Ooh.
fresh disc on it, because if I used the same one, then it would take twice as long. So I'm like, alright, good thing we have like a full cabinet of 36 grit sandpaper, so I just kept going through it.
Whole time you're texting your boss, better order more for tomorrow.
Yeah,
What do you mean
right.
order more? Look what I'm doing.
You know, I kept changing them even when they didn't need changed. And I'm like, screw it. But I don't know. It was a long day.
Yeah.
Sitting down, leaned over. I'm like, oh, I need a break. And I still got more to do tomorrow.
Oh boy. Man, tomorrow you're going to be like, you know what? Should I just blow my brains out now or should I just go into work?
Yeah, my boss was like, how's that going? I'm like, it's going pretty good, but I want to shoot myself. I'm like, I didn't even weld this and I got to sand it all down. I'm like, oh my lord.
You think that Coca-Cola trick would work or no?
What Coca-Cola trick?
Pour Coca-Cola or like soak it in metal to help dissolve shit?
I don't know. Probably, but I don't know.
So I want to test it and be the idiot.
I don't want to be the idiot. I got people making fun of me at work already as it is.
Why? Because your finger?
That and some other thing. Because the new guy always gets made fun of.
Oh, so making fun of Mark too?
Yeah.
Good. No one gets by scot-free.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've been sleep deprived the whole weekend, so today was kind of a waste. Friday night, I barely slept after Bloodview, and that was a pretty fun night. I was Becky the 25-cent whore. That's another reason why you guys didn't see a picture of that one. I had like the most hooker makeup going on. I did bright white eyeshadow on my eyes. I took a black pencil and did a black line underneath. Put bright red lipstick on. Made my cheeks all rosy and did bright blue polka dots. Then I wrote 25 cents on my neck. I made $3.75 because I was going up to people. Hey y'all want to party with Becky for 25 cents, or would you prefer Beck for $1? I was dropping people left and right. They were laughing. It was great. Barely slept Friday night. Come Saturday, I had work in the morning. I was pissed as all hell because, one, I had work on a Saturday. Two, there was like a trick-or-treat thing going on down at Crocker Park, so everyone and their mother was there. Normally, I could park on the first floor. I had to park up on the roof. Then I had people yelling at me like, oh, you're in my way. I'm trying to get that spot. well, fuck you, buddy. I'm here now.
You're right.
So then, work, Bloodview. What did I do Saturday? Oh, I did, I have this character named the Great Dave. And everyone at Bloodview, half of them love the Great Dave. The others don't, because they're so annoyed. Because everyone goes through, Great Dave, Great Dave. Have you seen Great Dave? Do you know about Dave? Where's Dave? How old is Dave? Do you know where Great Dave is? So all the people who kind of look like me, those are the ones who get questioned. And they're like, I love you, but I hate when you do the Great Dave. So I knew what they were wearing costume-wise. So I went up to the people and I was like, can you do me a favor? There's a guy in the main house with a top hat on. And it's black with a couple bones on it and green. Can you tell him the Great Dave says hi specifically to him? So that was fun. And I did a makeup job I did 4 years ago. And I think I did better this time around doing it because I'm a little more experienced. And then we had the overnighter, which was fun as hell. So they were all like, oh, if you're under 21, you can't drink. And they did it kind of like how a club does it, where they put the X on your hand.
Yeah.
Well, all the ones that are like cool with all of us, they were like, just go upstairs and drink with us. You'll be fine.
Where is that at?
Bloodview.
Oh, that was actually at Bloodview?
Yeah. So we're getting drunk. I made a sandwich that had to be like 6 inches tall. And it was on cheap bread too. And those sandwiches somehow hit the best.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It was like roast beef, turkey, mayo, mustard, and pickles with American cheese. So good.
That sounds like my lunch every day, but it's just like on a thin.
Oh, yeah.
I packed 2 of them, so.
And there's chicken wings too. I had 2 buffalo wings and 2 chicken parm or garlic parm wings.
Yeah.
Those were amazing. So I get upstairs. I'm holding my big ass plate of food, and they're like, "Here, you want to take a swig?" And it was a big ass bottle of Jameson. And I was like, "Okay." And then I'm like, "That wasn't too bad." Get over there, and they're like, "You want a beer?" Okay. Not passing that up. So then, like, 40 minutes after drinking for 40 minutes straight, we did this thing called house races, where the whole haunt is completely pitch black, and you have within 5 minutes to go through the customer line and find your way through and make it to the end. Well, I did it first time over 5 minutes to where I'm halfway through and all I hear over someone's walkie-talkie, "Yeah, Hunter's been in there for over 5 minutes. I think he's disqualified." And I was like, "What?" A bunch of people start laughing. I was like, "Don't laugh at me. Someone tripped me up in there." I get out. Someone was pulling on me. I felt someone spit on me. There was a draft. And then after that, we did Battle Royale, which is like hide and go seek in the dark. But it's hide and go seek tag, and the rooms, after a certain amount of time, get eliminated. Mm-hmm. So you have to constantly move. And the rules are, if I go in and then you go in too, but you're not it and I'm not it, I can still tag you and you're out. So first time I go in, I'm hiding in the maze, and I'm in all black clothing. So it's like, all right, perfect spot. This one friend of mine, Nakia, he comes around with a lighter. First I hear a couple footsteps. I see the light. I'm like, oh man. He comes up to me, tags me. He's like, gotcha. And I was like, can you keep a secret? Nope. So then I had to go back, and they're like, you're out already? It hasn't even been 30 seconds. I was like, yeah, this game cheats. So then I go in again, and I hide in this little cubby. Well, me and 2 guys basically played, if you don't tell, I won't tell. Because they come in, and we're kind of doing like the no, go away kind of thing. And I was like, am I out? Are they out? So I was like, all right, if they don't tell, I won't tell. Well, then my one buddy, Sky, he's literally climbing the tops and like crawling over the tops of all the sets, and he's literally about to come down on me. His butt is not even a foot away from my face. And they're calling out, oh, this person's it. 5 seconds later, this person's it. Right as it's about to come down, Hunter, you are now it. So I like sucker punch him in the ass and take off running, and all I hear is, you motherfucker. And then just fall. It was great. And then after that, we're all just hanging out, drinking till about 6 in the morning. Go to bed, wake up at 7 because I'm freezing. Because they had this fan going with an open window too. I got a little cold out. So I'm just shivering in this chair. I go downstairs and they're making breakfast. I was able to watch 28 Days Later, but with no audio. So I was like, premise looks pretty cool. I don't know what they're saying though. And then I had this great breakfast, especially for those hot pans that people make with, that like you can go take camping. I didn't think one of those could like bust out a great breakfast, but they did. So then I go home. I made the joke that I'm gonna go home, shower, and die for a little bit. Go home, shower. When I went to sleep, it was 3 o'clock. I didn't wake up until almost 8 o'clock. So I had to speed all the way back there because I was supposed to wake up at 5. I had like 10 alarms set. Didn't wake up once. I wake up and it's like, oh crap, I gotta go. So then I get there and they're like, oh, thank God you showed up, especially for the ceremony later. All right, just put on some makeup and go out and do something. I get with this group of other actors and they're like, all right, well, I'm the Corona monster and he's a priest who's blessing everybody and everything around it. Do you want to be tuberculosis since you're all bloody? Sure. So I'm going around coughing and hacking on people. I coughed so hard I nearly threw up on this one chick. I felt bad. And I had this tissue that I was like purposely coughing in. When I started spitting in it too, and I was going around to people, here, you want to eat this throat nugget? Or I was taking it and pulling up the spit and I was like, it's like Campbell's soup, thick and chunky. I chased this one chick around with it. It was great. Well, then I go up to the line. Someone literally takes it, slaps my hand and pulls it and starts playing with it. I was like, do you know what that is? And they're like, yeah, it's some like fake gelatin, right? And I was like, no, it's 100% all natural me. He's like, what do you mean? Spit on the ground. He's like, oh God. And I was like, you're welcome. So then after 6 years of being there, well, technically 5 since last year didn't happen.
Yeah.
And this year I finally became a knight, which means I don't have to stay to one room. I can carry weapons if it's approved by the Lord of Acting, and I can kind of just do whatever the fuck I want now. So I finally became one of those, and then you have to pick a name, so I went with Hannibal because my dad wanted to name me Hannibal after the Roman god, or not the Roman god, the Roman general that would constantly go and fight Greeks. So I was like, what a better place to bring that alive than here. So I want to know what really sucks? The knighting ceremony where only the people who just got knighted along with all the other knights go to. You know how November 20th, we're all going, or Matt, Jarrod, Nia, and I are supposed to go see Bert Kreischer?
Yeah.
That's the night of the knighting ceremony.
Mm.
And I have to go to that. But I also have to go to Bert Kreischer. So it's like, crap, what do I do? I even brought it up to the Lord of Acting, and he's like, dude, I wouldn't know what to do in that situation either. You're fucked. Because he's like, there's no way I'd miss the machine, but that ceremony is very important. I was like, I know. That's why I'm asking you, what do I do? So then, partied with them a little more last night, got home. I was supposed to have a doctor's appointment at 8 o'clock this morning. I went to bed at 4. I didn't wake up until 10. So I call the doctor's office. I'm like, hey, so is he still available today? Or is there another time later this week? Oh, you're going to have to come in on Friday at 10:20. Fine by me. Well, then after that was at like 10:30 this morning. I thought I was laying back down for another 5 minutes. I woke up, it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I've never felt so lazy. And then Matt texts me and he's like, hey, you want to go get some coffee and maybe hang out for a little bit? I was like, sure, I haven't done anything all day. Why not? So that's how my weekend and day's been going.
Sounds pretty fun.
Oh, yeah. Especially my one buddy, Sky, he had brought like 4 24-packs, a box of 2 bottles of Jameson, some spicy rum, and then Coke to make rum and Coke. Well, then he's like, hey, so I kind of only want the vodka that I brought and not the bottle of Jameson or spicy Jerry. Do you want it? Sure. I'm not a big drinker or anything, but I'll take it just to brag to people that I have it. And he's like, that's fine by me. I was like, okay. So then you just see me, someone with an X on my hand, carrying these 2 big-ass bottles, and they're kind of looking at me like, where are you going with that? I was like, Sky said I could have it, and I just ran out the building and threw it in my car. But in a way, I am glad that it's finally all over, because now I can get my weekends back, and I can sleep normally again, and I don't have to explain to people, no, it's not guy liner, it's just makeup residue from grease paint.
So, what do you have to do to, like, actually act at Bloodview?
Well, discarding rank, just acting is basically all improv. So, you can go in there and start talking about literally anything, as long as you look creepy and you do it in a creepy style, you'll scare somebody. Or if your makeup's good enough and you just look at someone, you can scare them that way. There's this one time, there's this room called Slaughter, and it's mainly just strobe lights in there. So a couple of years ago, I was hanging over it, and I didn't even do anything. I'm just hanging over it, not moving at all, and people are coming, and they're like, oh, they're like falling backwards, they're tripping over each other. They're like, oh, hell no, ah, no, no. And then once they get close to me after doing that for a solid minute and more people are piling up behind them, then I start moving. And with the strobe lights, everything looks like an action figure. So then I start getting close to them, they start freaking out more. Or most recently, I've developed the skill to where I can stop breathing for a little bit and slow my heart rate down to where I look like a mannequin. So I'll sit there completely still, and then kid you not, I've had people sit in my lap, I've had people poke my chest, poke my face, take my hats off, rub my hair, and they still go, there's no way that's real. So then when half the group goes by, then I jump up, and I could say the most random thing. I got somebody by saying, lick this lollipop, from just getting up and jumping after they did something like that, and they bolt out of the room. It's kind of just whatever comes to mind, improv, but me, I'm different. I like to come up with characters, like the Great Dave or Becky.
So, do you have to, like, apply the act there, or how does that work?
In a way, you kind of give them, like, this application, which is kind of saying, like, hey, I want to join. You just fill it out, and if you're under 18, you have to get another paper for your parent to sign off on it to say, yeah, I'm letting my kid do this. Or if you're over 18, at the bottom, you just sign one of the ones for the ones that are over 18 that's saying, yeah, I'm going to let myself do this. Because it's very exhausting and very taxing. Especially if you hurt yourself there. Like I have done several times. The one night I smacked my knee on a picnic table chasing people. Because I was literally flying up on them before and jumping from picnic table to picnic table. No problem at all. Jumping down, scaring people, chasing people. Well, then my boot comes untied and I didn't realize it. I go to jump and I thought I was on, but I wasn't. My knee just plows right into the table. And that was another thing I needed to bring up to the doctor. Or the next night, I'm walking back to my set. It's really stupid how I hurt myself. I'm walking back. I forgot there was a step, and the foot on the bad knee taps it. Well, then my whole body's like, oh no! And then I go down, falling. Somehow I'm spinning. And then my back hits the chair I was sitting in that room. So now my back hurts. And then, especially like if you were to do it, there's no way you'd be functioning the next day. With those 10-hour days you do and then 4 hours on top of that, and you're just physically exhausting yourself for people's pleasure. Very, very taxing. Especially when it comes to like latex and makeup and all that and the showers afterwards. Because no matter what you use to take the makeup off, I don't know if other people have this problem, but my skin burns whenever I use soap after using a lot of like latex or anything to help put a prosthetic on.
Right.
But when it comes to grease paint, then it's like, yeah, it's not too bad. You get a little burn here and there. But it's very annoying because then everyone's like, do you wear makeup? I wear grease paint. I work at a haunted house.
Right.
And the cool thing is, we don't get paid for it because all the money goes to a charity. And we do St. Jude's night, we do not festivals, but like, you could say festivals where it's like home days and we go, or we do like what is it called? Fox 8 Stuff the Bus, where we take some of our money from our funding, buy a bunch of school supplies, dress up as monsters and go stuff this bus for Fox 8 for students and all that. Or they just did this one crawl where they were at this bar and they like did a walk for some charity. It's pretty cool. And then on the 13th we have our annual banquet, which we all get to dress up fancy this time and not like we just crawled out of the ground and have dinner with each other, kind of have a party, and then go to Denny's for an after party. You know, finding a Denny's that's going to be open later than 12 is going to be very difficult. Because all the ones over here, the one at Parmatown closes at 7, the one over here, the dining room closes at like 10 o'clock, maybe 9. Because the one night, half of us tried to go to Denny's. Well, they were closed. I didn't go. I felt bad I didn't go because a lot of great memories and inside jokes came out of that. So then they went to Steve's Diner out, I think in Ridge Park, maybe, that area. And they were able to get in there. So trying to find a spot's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, because, like, personally, like, a few years ago, I wanted to do it. 'Cause I think it would be kind of fun.
Oh, it is.
Scaring people. And being, like, the inner me being weird.
Right.
Coming out and, like, well, they can't judge me.
Exactly. Because we've got a lot of messed up people there, but once you know them and become family with them, hell, we're all messed up. It doesn't matter how messed up you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't scare somebody, what I usually end up doing, comedy. And I'm funny. You know I'm funny.
Yeah.
So I get so many people rolling. I even get like some of like the other nights that I squired under, or like the people that watch me to judge if I'm going to be a night or not. I get them rolling and make them break character because my dialogue is just that funny. Because I'm going around one night and getting people to lick a lollipop. I'm chasing a guy with it and I'm like, lick it like a man. Come on, put it in your mouth and twirl what your mama gave you. Everyone was rolling. Even people I wasn't chasing after were like, now that's just weird. That's fucked up. I was like, but it's funny, isn't it?
So, are you allowed to, like, cuss and stuff?
Oh,
either?
sadly not. I wish we could, because that would, like, boost so much. You have to, like, either go around it. Like, the one night, I was out in that hillbilly area called Ghost Town when I was doing Becky.
Yeah.
And since I was in a dress, I wanted to sing Drop 'Em Out. So one of the nights goes by and I'm like, drop 'em out, let me see them titties. And he's like, I love that idea, but don't do that. You can't say titties in front of them. I was like, well, I wasn't going to say it in front of them. I was. I'm just saying it for you. And he's like, all right, just keep it at that. So then they come by and I'm like, how about we do a sing-along? Oh, what's your favorite song? Drop 'em out. No one understood it. It's like, how do you not know that song?
Come on, man. It's Wheeler Walker Jr.
Right, I did not know. So then a group comes by and I thought of a parody to Piano Man.
Yeah.
As they're going by, I was like, blow me a song, you're the piano man. Go down on me tonight. Well, I'm just in the mood for a reach around, and you look like you do it just fine. That had him rolling. And then there's this one guy who had fake teeth in, and he's like, don't make me laugh. You're making these fake teeth, like, push into my gums. So I was trying to make him laugh the whole time.
Yeah,
I didn't miss it.
I think that would be kind of my problem is, like, not cussing, because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like 90% of my
Vocabulary. Oh, yeah.
Especially with work, I'm like,
Every other word in a 15-word sentence is fuck.
yeah. Yeah, that's my problem. It's like, that's how I get through the day.
Right.
Just bitching about every goddamn thing. But, I don't know. I'm a lot worse inside work
Mm-hmm.
than out, because...
Yeah, the first couple of weeks, that's when you kind of hone whether you're going to swear a lot or not. Because the first night, you remember, I forgot his name in the movie, the General in Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, the one that passed away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, all of my dialogue was just from that one man. So the whole time I'm like, what's your name? Someone would say it, and I was like, instead of, I want to say bullshit, like how he would say, so I was like, Bull, what's your name? Or I went up to somebody and I was about to say, what's your name, cocksucker? But I couldn't, and I already know some of our viewers are going to complain to some of our personnel and say, why is he saying that on the podcast? But it's movie reference, so I'm quoting a movie, not personally trying to say it. So I'd be like, what's your name? And whatever they were wearing, I'd call them out by that. Like some dude had poncho on. So I was like, what's your name, Poncho? You look... I was like, there's only 2 things that come from Texas, and I'm a steer. And you don't look like a steer, so what's that make you, boy? And he was like, a flaming fag. And I was like, oh, man. Oh. And hey, no judgment in the comments. They said it, not me. I'm quoting them. Or this one guy was like, well, if you're a steer and I'm not from Texas, I guess that makes me a queer. And I was like, you're right. Now drop down and give me 20. And he's like, 20 what? I'm not gay. You just said you were queer. Okay. So it's so hard not to swear, especially when I get groups that want to try to fight me. And I want to say, bring it on, motherfucker, but I can't. So I have to tell them just to go. Or a part of me wanted to say fucking go, but you can't swear.
Yeah.
Or there's so many girls. Jarrod always complains about this because I say it to him the most. Because we talk the most. When you're in makeup, there's a lot of freaky chicks up there who find that hot. And he's always like, oh, there's this guy who's better than you and all this. And he gets millions of girls and he doesn't even have to try. Okay, that's him. This is me in makeup. And I got girls coming up to me saying that they want to do me, but I'm not trying to catch a charge. And he's always like, well, I'm better looking than you, so I could probably get them without makeup. It's like, okay, I can't have a glory moment?
Yeah, right.
Jeez, way to rain on my parade.
Yeah, he said, I gotta piss on Hunter's parade.
Uh-huh. Someone's happy in life, and I'm not in it, or I can't bask in it either. Nah, but those chicks always make my night, because those are the ones, whenever I do Great Dave, that chant Great Dave. And I always do it in like that California stoner voice. I'm always like, do you know who I am? No, you don't know me. I am the Great Dave. What makes you so great? Give me 25 cents and I'll show you why they call me Great Dave. Or, they're like, if I'm in this area called Dark Chapel, it looks like a church, they're like, can you give us a sermon? And I'm like, one who does not Dave with Dave cannot Dave with Dave. But if you Dave with Dave, you can Dave with Dave because you're Daving with Dave. And they're like, you just changed my whole life. I'm like, you're welcome. So then they'll all like pile in the room and I'm like, all right, can I get the whole room to shout Great Dave on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. What's that?
Sounds like a car alarm.
Really quick, everybody, we got a car alarm going on. That was really weird.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry for the break, but that was a little weird. Didn't know if it was one of our vehicles or not. But so half the room will go like, Great Dave! And there's always those few people who like just stand there and stare at you blankly. So I'm like, don't be a bummer, dude. Come on. So then I get everyone to do it again and they all do it. And that's just the best. Or I'm like, come back in here with some frankincense and myrrh and we can study Daveology. And they're like, well, what's that? I'm like, come back around and find out. Well, then I see so many people that are like, we're back. Do you remember us? I'm like, yeah. The one night they're like, all right, what's my name? I was like, you didn't tell me your name. They're like, yeah, we did. I'm Olivia. This is Brooke. And well, I forgot the other chick's name. So then they came around again and they're like, what's our name? And I was like, and they're like, you forgot our name? And I was like, no, I know it. One of you's Brooke, right? Yeah. One's Olivia? Yeah. And then the other chick says her name. I was like, oh, I thought it was like this. No. But yeah, those are the moments that I live for. Or when I get to chase people.
Yeah, I bet you that's fun.
Oh yeah.
How far are you allowed to go?
What sucks is before we used to go into the parking lot and get into people's vehicles too. We can't do that anymore. After that like little post where you leave after the picnic area, that's as far as we can go.
No, really.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, somebody got taken home with a group of people because they got into the vehicle. And they had to like call one of us and be like, hey, these people basically like took me to their house. So we're not allowed to do that anymore, even though I would love to do that. Because last night I had this group of kids and they were like, if you spit on me, I'm going to beat your ass. You come at me with that tissue full of spit, I'm going to beat your ass. Come here, yeah, try to fight me. So I was like, you know how far I can spit? I'd spit at them. So from my driveway, I can hit about where the front of your truck is. So I'd spit at them. And they were like, all right, come on, let's fight. I'd walk up to them, and since they're only like up to the lower half of my chest, I'd be like, all right, never mind. So then they'd come back around, and they're like, come on, get out of my face. So then I'd get up, and I'd like walk up to them and like body them basically. And then I'd spit into my tissue and be like, here, you want to eat it? It'll make you immune. I always love those people that try to fight.
Hey, they got a sign that says you punch an actor, you go to jail.
Hell, half the time, I think that's just to scare people to not hit us. The one night I had a woman push me, like a linebacker kind of push, into a fridge. Nothing happened. I even told people about it. I've had a woman hit me in the nuts while I was midway in the air.
Was that an accident? Or?
Yeah.
No.
But still, punch is thrown. Because, like, I was chasing a group, and then this other guy was chasing the next group behind them. So I was running at them full speed, and then I jumped, and I got some pretty high air considering I was in Doc Martens. So I'm like above this woman's head, and she's kind of just like, ah, and like hits me, dinger right on both ends of the spectrum. Yeah. Oh. And then the other night, I'm laying in this. There's that room Slaughter. There's now like a butcher's table in there. Yeah. So I'm laying in there completely still. And then I had this one dude come up to my chest and he's like, is it real? Me. Yeah, I'm real. And he was like, oh shit, man, I'm sorry. And I was like, just get out. Just get out.
Ooh, I'd be kind of upset.
This one night, there's that first room, that building you go in, it's called Gore House. I was working that with this guy, Logan. 2 groups came in that nearly taunted us into fighting then. This group of like kids comes in, and they're like, oh, look at this bitch ass this, bitch ass that, oh, he looks like a faggot. So then we'd yell at them and yell at them to leave. Well, then they'd come around again and do it. And then they'd be like, if you come near me, I'm going to beat your ass. So then we'd get right up on them. And they're like, oh, I'm not even scared of you. And they walk away. And then after that group left, this group of 3 dudes comes. I scare them. 2 of them are like, oh, good, that was cool. He scared us. Well, and this one dude who's got to be like 6'7", he's like, man, you ain't even fucking scary. I'll kick your ass right here, right now. Man, look at this little bitch. I'll beat his ass. And I was like, all right, do it then. You won't. He's like, man, I'll knock you the fuck out right now. I'll take that top hat of yours too. His friends are like, dude, come on, let's go. You go to jail if you hit them. Come on, just enjoy it. And he's like, no, I'm going to beat his ass. And I was like, yeah, I want you to fucking do it, motherfucker. Come on, throw a fucking punch. You won't. And then his friends were like, dude, come on, let's just go. So then they leave. And then I felt bad for the group right after them. Because I'm walking back, I'm fucking steaming. So then it's this couple. I get right up in their face and I'm like, are you gonna try to come at me too? Huh? I'm taking this cane, I'm smashing it against the wall. I'm like, huh? Are you gonna try to be like that group ahead of you and fucking challenge me? And the girlfriend's kind of looking at the boyfriend like, what did the group before them do? And I'm like, you know what? Just go. Just go. And then that other guy who's working with me in there, he's like following them around. Literally, his hands are up, ready to fight. And I'm like, buddy, I know I was losing my temper, but you need to calm down. It gets intense up there. And from time to time, it gets intense amongst us, which isn't good. Because that just ruins the show for everybody.
Yeah.
But we do get very weird and dirty with each other for no reason at all. Like my one buddy Sky, he had this latex over his face that looked like an Arby's chick. So I was like, you know what? If I rub the top, will your eyes squirt water out? And he was like, what's wrong with you? And I can never have a normal conversation with you. I was like, hey, it's what you get when you come here. Or he had horns on the one night, and I always target him because of his reactions. I was like, careful now. You might make me horny. And he's like, get out. Just get out. Or the one day, he does something like that to me, and I was like, oh, you can tell me to leave all the time, but when you make the joke like that, it's perfectly fine. He's like, yeah, it's different. I was like, yeah, why is that? And he's like, because I'm 22, you're only 20. I was like, fuck you.
Age is just a number.
Right. Yeah, as much as I love the boys, I love my group from Bloodview too. It's weird trying to hang out with them outside because it's like, all right, what do we do?
Yeah, right.
We've never hung out before. We never really go out and do anything together. What do we do? I want to be like, hey, you guys want to go for a hike? Because with us, we do that all the time.
Yeah.
With them, they're like, a hike? Who goes hiking? Because Sky, I don't know what he does. He does something with metal. Like, I think it's I think he welds. I don't know. I'd have to double check on that. But it's something that I'm sure would be close to something you do with welding.
Millerite?
Maybe. Miller's definitely in the name, I think.
Millwright, maybe.
Yeah.
Machinist.
And then like half the other people, they live out. I don't know why they drive as far as they do. This one chick, she lives all the way out in Elyria and drives all the way here just to do it.
Oh my lord.
Another guy lives out in Worcester. Why? Why do that to yourself? I live 15 minutes down the road and I still complain.
Yeah, like people from my work, I live like Worcester, West Salem.
Jesus.
Another one from Parma. Yeah, there's people all over the place that drive to work. I'm like, as much as you guys complain about coming to work, you guys got a long drive.
Right. There's no way I'd drive fucking from Elyria to Broadview Heights. I complain about driving out to Crocker Park.
Yeah, I mean, my dad lives in Elyria, and that's like 25 minutes away. I'm like, I don't like driving to Elyria.
Right.
It sucks. But especially to Elyria to Broadview Heights, it's a little farther of a drive.
Oh yeah. Or whenever I'm at work, I don't take into consideration how close Elyria to Crocker Park is. So whenever this like one chick's always like, yeah, I like live out in Elyria. I'm like, damn, that's a far drive. And she's like, not really. I'm like, sorry, I always think we're still over by me in Seven Hills. That's a drive. Or we've had people from Sandusky come.
Oh my lord!
It's like you really drove that far just to
Over
come here,
over an hour.
just to go shopping for like maybe 15, 20 minutes and then go back.
Jesus Christ, I'm okay.
Right. And I swear with the holiday season, more and more people keep coming. I feel like the white in the office. There's too many people in here. We need another plague. I made that joke. Someone was like, "Well, hell, we just had COVID." And I was like, "It didn't work. We need another one." They were like, "My lord, Hunter, you're just not a people's person, are you?" Not really. Then why do you work in retail? It's easy work. Because I always tell them how I've done construction, I've done windows, I'm thinking about a butcher job, and they're like, "Well, why do you do retail if you've done all that stuff and you tell us how much you enjoy it?" It's like, because that's a job that if I don't have to, I'm not going to work it. But if I have to, I'm going to work it and I'm going to do it well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for you, a lot of respect. You don't have to, but you want to. You
Mhm.
enjoy it. Me, I enjoy retail because, not to sound weird, but there's a lot of cool people and good looking people who come in.
Yeah.
And they're always fun to get to know.
Yeah.
Or I can always test comedy on them. And it's almost like being a salesman. I practically am a salesman.
Yeah.
I feel like a used car salesman when I try to sell people on certain things, and it's easy. And if I wanted to, I could always go and get this job or that job. But for right now, since I'm in school and I don't need to work that much, retail's the way to go.
Yeah.
But you need to see how much that butcher's offering, and because this one guy at Bloodview has a warehouse downtown where they move furniture and then for office buildings install cubicles. He's like, right now it could get you started at 12, and then if you prove that you're worth keeping around, I can get you up to like $12.50, and in years time you can be making up to $15 an hour. I was like, all right. He's like, yeah, just let me know how much that butcher's trying to offer you, and I'll let you know. It's like, okay.
Right. Yeah.
But I would miss Banana Republic, because one, people, and all the connections I've made up there, and there's this guy who calls himself the mayor. I don't know if he's the mayor. There's no way there's a mayor of Crocker Park, but he has a badge that says Mayor of Crocker Park, and he's like, yeah, one day I just started telling people I'm the mayor, and I'm the mayor. I go around and do events with people all the time. It's like, is this dude actually the mayor? Is he just bullshitting me?
Yeah, 'cause isn't Crocker Park Westlake?
Yeah, and it's just an outlet mall with apartments above it. If anything, he's like the neighborhood watch thing.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I thought about just getting like a weekend part-time job
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
so I could make more money, so I could save up, so I could go in the army.
Yeah, there you go. So that way when you get out, you're not like, crap, I'm broke.
Pretty much, and I won't be struggling when I get out, trying to pay all my bills.
Right.
But I don't know. So I know a sergeant major in the army.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "There's a program that they do that helps you with the bills and all that."
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I need him to go with me while I sign the papers, so the recruiters don't try to screw me over. Because the major, he knows all that, and
Mhm.
plus when he walks in the office, they all have to salute him because he's an officer
Uh-huh.
in the army. He's been in for 28 years.
Damn.
He's a doctor. He works at Medina Hospital in the ER room.
Is that the hospital you went to too?
Yeah, I went to that hospital, but I didn't go to him because he works in the ER room. I had to go to workman's comp because I got hurt at work. So I had to go to the workman's comp area to get stitched up and do a drug test and breathalyzer test.
Breathalyzer.
Yeah. The first time I ever had to do one of those. So he came to my house the other day to take my parents to the bar, and he was like, "You could have just came over to my house. I could have stitched you up." I was like, "I would have, but it was through workman's comp. The company was paying for it." He was like, "Oh yeah, it's better to do that." And I don't know. He bought 2 of our pugs, like puppies from our first litter a couple years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and he became friends with us ever since.
Nice.
Yeah, and he was one of the reasons why I chose the Army over the Air Force. like, all right, now I'm going in the manly force. I'm not going in the cheer force.
Right.
But I don't know. He's been in for 28 years. He's like, if it wasn't for the Army, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. And I'm like, don't make me cry. But I don't know. He's a cool guy. He goes out to California for his drill because he's in the reserves, kind of like Jarrod. But Jarrod's in the National Guard. He's in the actual Army reserves.
Yeah.
So he goes out to California. He says he loves it. He said he could change his drill to somewhere closer, but I'm like, why would you change if you go to California?
Right.
I'm like, I would love to go to California. I mean, not to live there, but
Right.
to visit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I wonder how much hotels would be out there.
I don't want to know. Like, Jovan, Jovan, he, when he graduated from boot camp in the Navy, he goes out to California for his A school. He was complaining about it. I'm like, you don't have to leave base. You don't have to deal with the people out there.
Right.
And he was like, true. I'm like, it's going to be like 20 degrees here and like 70 degrees over there. And plus, you could leave base and you could go to the beach when you're off work.
Yeah.
And you could have your parents visit you or other people visit you and go off base and have fun. And there's a lot of things to see in California. And that's one place where I want to go one day.
Right. I want to visit for just a little bit.
Like, the state I really want to move to is, I want to move down south to, like, Tennessee. In the mountains.
Oh, yeah.
I want to live in the mountains, and I was actually looking at houses in Ashland City, Tennessee. I think it was like 20 acres and like a, what was it, like a 2,300 square foot house. They wanted like $300,000 for it. I'm like, that wasn't bad. I mean, the house was kind of up to date, just like needed a remodeled kitchen because it had like ugly emerald green countertops. So Tennessee, you know how they're all like hillbillies down there. Someone made a gun vault.
Damn.
Down in their basement. I'm like, I want this house. I'm like, shoot, I want to move right now. It was pretty nice house. Like, if I wish I had the money to buy it, or I would have moved right then and there.
Right.
But I don't know. Now I bet you that house is like $500,000 now. With the rising sky market or the housing market.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. One day, hopefully it crashes so I can buy a house for $500.
Right. All right. Now joining us, we have Jarrod.
Hello. That's been. It's been the first time.
Well, we were in the middle of a conversation.
Oh my bad. I can't just barge in. How long you guys been going?
Right now I'd say we're going for a solid, maybe 45 minutes.
I was wondering if I was just barging in the 15-minute mark. I was gonna be like, wow.
Yeah, right now, it's gonna be just an audio episode, and I'll be uploading pictures of Bloodview because that was a huge segment for a little bit. Because
yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
yeah, I asked Jordan if we could use his camera, but his phone was at a very low percent, and trying to charge it with my short chargers where the stand is wouldn't have been a very valuable option.
So who's all there?
Well, Matt left literally minutes after we started recording, so it's just Jordan and I.
Sorry for all the viewers.
I let them know you'll be back
You gotta
on
bring some
Thursday.
entertainment to the podcast, I guess. This is gonna be a dry podcast. I guess I had to call in. I just got out of work, figured I'd call in, so it wasn't so dry.
Yeah, it's been pretty good actually.
Yeah, no pauses.
Yeah, the only time there was a pause was when we heard a car alarm going off pretty far away. and we got nervous. It was one of ours.
Yeah, I thought someone broke in your car.
Right. And the weird thing is, I saw red on your truck, but I guess it was just a car going down the street. What are you eating there, Jarrod? You get Swenson's?
Yeah.
I knew it.
No. I didn't get Swenson's, but
He sees me send him a picture of Swenson's, and now he
I
goes to
see
Swenson's.
Jordan at Swenson's, and I text him about it.
What do you?
Yeah, did you
saying that?
did you see what I sent you? I said I can't afford to buy you food because you eat so goddamn much.
I don't eat that much.
Yeah, you do. You ate a whole pizza.
Okay, fair enough. But I only get cheese, and a milkshake.
Say that again, because you kind of cut out. All we heard was "and a milkshake."
Okay. I get bacon, lettuce, cheese.
Should just do
Yeah,
a
the
regular
milkshake.
call.
Still too much for you?
Well, you're cutting out. We're considering maybe just putting you on a normal phone call, so it's not Wi-Fi based and cutting out.
Yeah, that's what
All right, I'll call you back in a
So
sec.
buys the podcast then on a normal phone call, and then I'll let you guys continue on doing your thing.
Say that again. All right, so he's gonna call back. So this is gonna be a very interesting thing on the podcast. All right, here we go. All right.
I said I was going to say my goodbyes to the podcast.
Oh.
See you guys on Thursday. Sorry I couldn't make it, I'm sure Hunter explained,
Oh, I
at
did.
work over there. Freaking 12, 13 hours of work, so.
And now, what did you get for food again?
Jesus, you guys cut out that much?
Yeah.
Let's see. I get a double hamburger with no cheese, lettuce, ketchup, and bacon, a fry, and a milkshake, chocolate milkshake.
What, are you against cheese or something? That's the best part.
I don't know. Like, a lot of dairy doesn't settle well with my stomach.
Are you becoming lactose intolerant now?
No, it's not my stomach, it's my throat. Like, it's hard to...
If you pull back a few inches, it wouldn't hurt.
If you guys want to look it up, you can look it up. And it's where my throat swells up and it gets really small.
Oh, jeez.
So I can't, and it's due to dairy. And, so, when I have a milkshake, I have to, sip on it. I can't take big gulps. Or, when I drink a milk, I have to sip on it and, stuff, because if not, it just doesn't go down, and then I end up throwing it up, and it's bad. It's a bad scene.
Yeah, it sounds pretty bad, too.
Yeah, and then, if I don't throw it up, I'll dry heave, and it gets bad.
Oh, really quick.
Yeah.
Have you checked fantasy lately?
Okay. Let's not talk about it. All right? It was a bad week for my team.
Mister, even on the podcast last week, I'm gonna crush Hunter. Oh, I just changed all this around. I'm gonna crush Hunter.
Oh, yeah. So, I'm going to be honest. I changed some things around about an hour before the game started on Sunday. And I was like, you know what? I don't feel confident in this lineup. I changed some things around. The people that I took out and people that I put in, they scored 20, 30 points that I took out. The people I put in scored 5 to 8 points.
Sounds like me 2 weeks ago.
And it's all my fault, all right? It's my fault.
Hey, it happens to all of us.
So, and it was an off week for my team, all right?
Yeah, it was an off week for some of my players, too.
Well, you wait till next
Next
wait
matchup?
till, yeah.
It's alright. I beat Mark by default because he didn't put in his players.
I know.
Hell, do we know who the matchups are for next week? Or this coming week?
Yeah, hold on. I'll tell you in a second. But you should have asked Jordan to bring the GoPro.
Ah, that's right. Well, he was already on his way when I told him what time to be here. Because he was getting Swenson's.
We can do that on Thursday.
Yeah. Bring your GoPro.
I gotta find it first. I gotta see if I have a memory card too.
You gotta see about what? If they're charged?
Memory card.
Well, those are easy to get.
Those of you who are still listening past this part, thank you.
I'm sorry, things are loading really slow, so I'm trying to get this answer for you. Still trying. Still trying.
Alright, so I'm in. Where do I go?
I face Jarrod next week, and you face Mark next week. Jarrod, I face you next week.
Okay, see, Jordan figured it out.
And Hunter, he faces Mark.
No one tell him to fix his lineup.
I will be telling Mark to fix.
I could go for another win.
See, now, if Mark doesn't fix his lineup, I can then surpass him, because I'm only behind one game. And I can surpass him in the East, and then after that, I'll just keep telling Mark to fix his lineup and stuff, except when he's playing me. So, Jordan and Hunter lose to him.
I'll make sure I try to win. Even though sometimes the projection doesn't always match up, as we found out this week and I found out 2 weeks ago.
Very, very much so. Every single player on my lineup, except my kicker and my defense, was scheduled to get 20 plus points. Every one of them.
Never accurate.
And yeah, they did. Hello.
Yeah.
No, it was bad. Let's not even talk about the Browns game though. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll say my goodbyes to the podcast. I'll see you guys all on Thursday. Thank you for watching. It was good for this 5-minute segment or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
If anyone is still listening, put in the comments for Hunter. Give him ideas for skits that we can start doing to make it a little bit more entertaining for you guys, all right? Like what you guys would like to see. So, like, comment, share. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.
All right, we'll see you, Jerry.
See you guys.
See you.
All right, now that's going to be a nice little segment for our listeners since we haven't really done phone calls before.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're on those sports talk shows like on ESPN or like 1100 where they have the caller come in.
Yeah, there has to be a way to make the voice more clear.
Yeah.
The computer.
I wonder how that's going to be when we play it back.
Probably sound like crap. Because they somehow like wire it through the computer or
Yeah.
they put it through a filter or something to make it clear, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right, well, we've been going on for a little over an hour. I know Jordan's got work in the morning. I've got work tomorrow night, but that doesn't matter. And you guys don't really like to watch very long. So, thanks for tuning in. Like Jarrod said, let us know for skits down at the bottom. And we'll see you guys on Thursday. See ya.